Just a few decades ago, Palm Beach County residents considered Wellington to be in the middle of nowhere. Today, it offers anyone everything they may need. From its own city hall, community center, tennis and aquatic complex, its own amphitheater, and one of the most popular malls in Palm Beach County, the mall at Wellington Green. So if you've ever thought about moving to Wellington, Florida, come along with me and let's take a tour. What's up, everybody? It's April Laura with Posh Properties right here in South Florida. And if you're new to this channel and you want to know everything there is about working, eating, sleeping, playing, and living in South Florida and Wellington, Florida, then make sure you tap that subscribe button and hit the little bell so that you're notified every time I do a new video. Honestly, we are getting so many calls, so many reach outs. People are wanting to know, what is it like to live in South Florida and Wellington? And they want a local to show them what it's like and how is it living in South Florida? And I'm so happy to be able to help anybody that is interested in finding out information so that they can figure out where to live. So to give you an idea of what type of homes you're going to be able to find, as far as price range in Wellington, I looked on the MLS this morning, and the homes right now on the MLS are ranging from the low 300s to the multi-million dollar home. So let me explain. In the low 300s, you're really going to find some of the older neighborhoods. In that lower 300,000 mark, they're going to be smaller homes. Some of them are going to be probably wood frame homes instead of the CBS type construction, concrete block. But the newer construction are really the CBS construction, and the older ones you'll find some wood frame homes. The multi-million dollar homes, those are going to be probably in the equestrian area, because Wellington does have a huge equestrian community, and that's where you're going to find a lot of much more luxury custom-built estate homes in those pockets in Wellington. This morning I looked at listings on the MLS in Wellington, and there were only 22 listings, which is unheard of. It really shows the drastic need of listings that we have here in South Florida, and I believe it's going on in pretty much most of the country. Those listings include condos, townhouses, and single-family homes. So there's such a need for listings. Normally we have anywhere between 400 and 600 listings on the MLS, and today we have 22. Wellington has grown from 28,000 residents in 1995 to over 65,000 residents today. It's the 5th largest municipality in Palm Beach County by population today. There is a very unique community in Wellington also, I have to point out. It's called the Aero Club, and there you have single-family homes on pretty large lots, and some of the homes have an airstrip right behind them. So it is perfect for the person that loves to fly and owns a plane. You could actually have a hangar right on your property and just pull it out and take off from your backyard. I mean, how cool is that? I do want to mention also there are 2 active adult communities, 55 and older communities in Wellington. One of them is Buena Vida, which is single family homes, and the other one is Mayfair, which offers 1st and 2nd floor condos with garages. Wellington has so many events, from special holiday events to weekly events that residents can enjoy, and most of them are free. Some big ones are the Egg Hunt, the 4th of July celebration, and the Fall Festival. And they also have a food truck invasion, which happens at the amphitheater, and there's free movie night, and there's all kinds of concerts that happen at the Wellington Amphitheater. Community programs are geared toward everyone, young and old. They have everything from yoga for kids and adults, meditation, Pilates, Zumba, and almost every sport imaginable the kids in Wellington play through the programs that are offered. They even have programs for our furry friends, like dog obedience training classes. So today we're in Wellington, Florida, and I gotta tell you, you see the background behind me? This is basically what Wellington is about. It's pristine, it is beautiful. There's a lot of manicured lawns and landscaping, and homes are pretty, and they're fairly on the newer side, and there are some kind of like master plan communities. That's really how it all started. I actually moved to Wellington in 2003, and unlike a lot of people that moved down here from the Northeast, I actually moved up from South Florida, from further south, from Miami. So we were living in Miami, and we were raising our daughters, and city life was just hectic and expensive. The schools weren't great, so we definitely had to put our girls in private school, and one of our daughters was playing soccer. We came up to Wellington, Florida, and we realized, wow, this is beautiful. It's well manicured. They've got A-rated schools. That was in 2003, and we really, looked into it and decided to build a house here. So I am actually standing in the neighborhood where I used to live, and it's called the Isles of Wellington. And we built our house here. Our house was actually the first one in the specific subdivision. There was lots of homes built, but in our subdivision, we were the first house. And then I actually became really good friends with the owners of the second and third house, which were two sisters, Ellen and Nancy. There were two sisters that moved up from Broward. And there weren't a lot of people that were moving here from Florida. Most of the people that moved here at that time were mostly for the Northeast, like New Jersey, New York, like Brooklyn, Bronx area. So I developed a lot of friends from there as well. But we're gonna go by and see my friend Ellen's jewelry shop. She still lives here, and she still also owns a local jewelry shop here, so we're gonna stop by there. I have another good friend from Brooklyn that really became one of my best friends, Lisa, and we're gonna try and see her today, but I think she's kind of busy. So one of my best friends' name is Lisa, and I actually met her when I was living in Wellington. She still has her contracting business here in Wellington, and we're just gonna stop by and say hello, see how she's doing. Hey Lisa. How's it going?
What are you doing?
I'm in Wellington just shooting some footage. And I definitely wanted to stop by and say hi to you since we met in Wellington.
That's true.
And basically this tour is showing people about Wellington, and since you moved here to Wellington from Brooklyn.
I did move from Brooklyn.
I definitely wanted to stop by, and maybe you can tell people about what your experience has been in Wellington or moving to Wellington, and what you like and what you don't like about it.
All right, I could do that. I moved here, I think 2003 from New York, actually from Staten Island. I started a construction business here then, and I raised my daughter here. She went to college here. She went to middle school, and actually she went to grade school here too, all the way through high school, and she did a great job in school. The school systems here are great. Sports programs are great. If your kids are into sports programs, there's a sport for everybody in Wellington. You have some good restaurants. There's a lot of community activities that you could do with your family, or you could do with your spouse, but without your family. Great restaurants. I think I said that.
Yeah, and so how about some negatives? Can you think of any negatives about Wellington? Because we can't just say how great it is.
Well,
there's always negatives.
There is a little bit of negativity. It's a little west.
Yeah.
And
So
mostly location would be the only thing. Right now, I don't live here anymore. I just moved recently to Delray. But this is really a great family community, and most good family communities in South Florida are a little west.
Yeah.
It doesn't take that long to get to the beach, and there's a lot of positives here.
Yeah. Absolutely. I absolutely agree with you. So Lisa and I both raised our children here, and then once our children were grown and off on their own pretty much, then we moved out to be further east, further downtown, closer to, you know, kind of like the hustle and bustle of the city. But, you know, Lisa still works here, and again, Wellington's
I still have family here,
yeah.
and I come to visit all the time, and I it's a great community. I really like it.
Awesome. Thanks, Lisa.
You're welcome.
Always good to see you.
Good to see you too.
And if you need a general contractor when you move here, she's your girl.
I got your back.
Okay, so now I'm in Wellington Mall. It's called Wellington Green Mall, and it's a really nice mall, actually. We have 3 malls that are really nice in Palm Beach County. One is in Palm Beach Gardens, the Palm Beach Gardens Mall, very nice. The Wellington Mall is here. It's also a very nice mall, and when I lived in Wellington, I loved coming to this mall. It's really nice to have a really good mall right where you live. Like if you lived in Boynton Beach, you have a mall there, but it's not very nice. If you live in like Lake Worth, you would probably come to this mall, but it's not like in Lake Worth. You would have to go to Wellington, which is further west. And then there's a really, really nice mall in Boca Raton. I think Boca Raton Town Center Mall is probably the best in the county, but Wellington and Gardens are also very nice malls with very nice shops. Of course, there have been some changes with COVID in the malls. I know that the Nordstrom, I think the Nordstrom here actually left, might have been pre-COVID, but there's no Nordstrom here anymore. Their anchor stores are Dillard's, Macy's, and JCPenney, but they have a lot of great shops. They have a little playground for the kiddies. And it's a very popular mall. It's really nice. It's 2-story, and just a lot of shops to choose from. So now we're at Designer's Touch Jewelry, and this is Adam.
Hi.
So funny story, I've known Adam since he was a little kid because his mom, who's back there, Ellen.
Over there.
His mom and dad were friends of mine on the same block, and we all raised our kids together. So they have a really great jewelry store in Wellington. It's a local business. They've been here for how many years?
In Wellington, about 15.
Yeah. So I figured we'd stop by and showcase a great local family and local business.
I appreciate it. That's a lot of nice words. Yeah, we've been in Wellington for 15 years. Me personally, growing up a little longer, almost 20 years now. Grew up in Wellington, like she said, we were on the same street. The whole area is lovely. The community is lovely to us and to everyone else I talk to. Couldn't imagine a better place to be, really.
Yeah. And Adam just bought a new home in the area.
Yes, over in the fields. It's a new development, and I'm very happy to be over there too. It's everything's just up and coming. You got new plazas coming up too. Entertainment, food, it's all just, I mean, I love being here.
Well, there's been a lot of growth in Wellington, even since you were.
I mean, yeah, since 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It's a whole different Wellington, and it's just such a great place to live. We used to be in Weston, and being up here is just like night and day. I love being up here.
Yeah. And they're in a really busy shopping plaza. In this shopping plaza, we have what? Trader Joe's.
You've got Trader Joe's, you've got Starbucks, you've got a couple good restaurants, pizzeria, a nail salon, a hair salon. So
great
just,
Thai sushi.
And that's just this plaza. So
Yeah.
really, I mean, there's just so many good things around.
Yeah. So, all right. So if anybody's ever in Wellington, make sure, or if you need a good jeweler, and specifically diamonds.
Or watches.
Yes, because they do specialize in diamonds.
Come see me. Come say hello.
Thanks, Adam.
Thank you.
Wellington is home of the Winter Equestrian Games. There is a huge equestrian community here in Wellington, and I'm here at the International Polo Club, and I'm not sure if they're gonna kick me out, but I mean, it's okay. I just pulled my car over to the side. But there's a huge polo community, equestrian community. There's, you know, jumpers, and I think it's called dressage, equestrian shows, all types of equestrian shows that happen in the winter months. And these are the grounds of the International Polo Club. And if you see behind me, there it is. There are the polo fields. It's really cool because now they've developed Wellington where you can't really see a lot of the practices when the polo players are practicing. But when I first moved to Wellington, it was so cool because I'd go down this one road and all the fields were completely open. So you would see incredible horses, famous, I guess, polo players, although I wasn't really into polo, so I didn't really know who I was looking at. And of course it was from afar, it was while you were driving your car, but you could see, you know, them practicing polo games and polo matches. So it was just really cool. But since then they've grown hedges really high and they've made a lot of things private, so the public can't really see what's going on. And I can understand that because the population of Wellington has grown immensely as well, so I'm sure they don't want everybody looking into what's happening with the famous polo players. But this is this is an example of where they would have the games, and I have been to, you know, a few of the polo games, which is a lot of fun. It's different. It's something, you know, not that common to do. So they have quite a few polo games that are open to the public. You can just buy tickets, and then of course if you know somebody, you can get into one of the VIP spots. But it's a lot of fun. It's kind of like you can do this, you can do like polo and brunch, you know. So a lot of people come out here on Sundays, and they do have like a restaurant where you can have brunch and, you know, have drinks and have champagne. And you know, it's kind of a nice experience. Although when you live in Wellington and you're just like a young family, you're not really doing a lot of that. You're raising your family and you're tending to the needs of the kids and the family. And this is really just something that is available, but not everybody in Wellington takes part of it, because the people that come in for the polo and the equestrian winter festival, it's really like all out-of-towners. And that's another thing that you should know. In the winter season, the population, the traffic and everything, it increases drastically, just like a lot of other places, most places in Florida, especially South Florida. But you'll see a lot of people out in the malls and the shops and the restaurants and dining. You'll see them with they're out-of-towners that come for the winter, but they'll have their jumping outfits on or their practice outfits on with boots and, you know, the specific pants they wear. And it's kind of cool. You know, it's just a different type of life, and it happens in the winter here. It's funny because when I moved to Wellington, there are a lot of famous people that are into the equestrian life, or they have children or grown children that are into the equestrian life, whether they're jumpers or whether they're into polo or I think it's called dressage. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. But when I first moved to Wellington, I was going to the gym, which it was a local gym that I joined there. It's called Ultima Fitness. And I go to the gym one day and I look over to my right and I see this guy that looks like Bruce Springsteen. And this was back in like 2004. And sure enough, I look next to him and he's with I think the woman that he was dating, or maybe they were married. I don't know if they ever got married. I'll have to look it up. But the red-headed woman that was in his band they had a relationship. I don't know if it was marriage or girlfriend, boyfriend, but she was there. So I looked back at him and it was him. It was Bruce Springsteen. So we had quite a few famous sightings, especially back in the day. But Wellington also, that part of it can be very, very private. So it's not like you're gonna see a lot of people out. They have their specific areas that they go to, and they have their specific, you know, probably private events that happen that the public really won't know. But you'll also see them around town, whether it's West Palm Beach. I know there's a couple of restaurants in even Lake Worth Beach that have had a lot of famous sightings, like Bruce Springsteen, Billy Joel, a friend of mine, actually Ellen, we went by her jewelry store. Her daughter Samantha worked here when she was in high school. She worked the games, like, and allowing people in, and she saw Madonna. She saw a bunch of famous people. So there are a lot of famous people around the world that come here in the winter for the equestrian games, but you may or may not ever see them. So just a really cool fact about Wellington, and I definitely wanted to show you. Okay, so now we are at Pearson Park, and I used to work out here at least 3 to 4 times a week when I was here. I had a great trainer. Her name's Kathleen. She actually still does the type of classes that I was doing at that time. She still does it here. She does it right here. She does some of them. She does it at different places in the park, right? So she does classes sometimes at the pavilion, which is right behind me. That's a roller skate pavilion, and a lot of kids from young to a little bit older will practice roller hockey. So they practice roller hockey there, and they have games and things, and we would run the perimeter of the roller hockey rink, and we'd also work out right on the side. And then she would move us around to different areas of the park. Sometimes we were all the way in the back where the football stadium is, and we'd run the bleachers. She'd bring equipment out, so we'd have, medicine balls and straps and TRX hanging straps and weights and jump ropes and all kinds of stuff. So I loved working out here. We used to work out year round. So summertime was brutal. It's getting towards the end of March right now, and it's starting to really heat up. Right now, today is really windy, as you can see. So it's hot, but as long as you're in the shade and there's wind, not a problem. But if it wasn't windy, it'd be pretty hot today. It's got to be in the mid to high 80s already. And then when you're working out in South Florida in the summertime, even if it's 5, 6 o'clock, because we'd always meet around 5:30 to 6 o'clock, and we'd work out for about an hour. It was so hot here. It was like we would be completely drenched. It's like you just walked out of the shower every single workout in the summertime. But then as soon as the fall came, it felt like we weren't really getting a workout at all because we weren't sweating as much. But I'll tell you, it was some of the best training I've ever had in my entire life. I got into the best shape of my life, and I still work out. I just don't work out as consistently because I don't have her, and as well because she used to stretch us out. We used to work out, then stretch after. I mean, she was really an all-around great trainer, and I miss it. I miss it so much. But this park is also great because they have everything here. There's soccer fields galore. There's soccer tournaments here during soccer season. There's multiple soccer fields going on everywhere. This is a huge park, and it's pretty much encompasses all of the sports that any of the kids in Wellington are playing. From roller hockey to soccer to the baseball fields are all the way in the back. The football fields are all the way in the back. They've got a playground right there. They've got pavilions, several pavilions throughout the park. So when the games are going on for the kids, they sell refreshments and snacks and things like that. So this is really one of the biggest advantages for kids and families because they have this great park with all of the extracurriculars, and it's right in the middle of Wellington. So you're really only going about 5 to 7, maybe 10 minutes away from your house at the most, and that's if you live like kind of further back in Wellington. But most of the homes are located right kind of around this area, so it makes it very convenient for parents when they've got school-age kids. Maybe they have multiple school-age kids, and the kids have to get home, do their homework, get fed, get to practice. I mean, I did it for several years, and it was very hectic, and that's one of the reasons why we moved to Wellington, was because it was kind of all-inclusive for a young growing family, and that's one of the greatest things. It's definitely worth it. Wellington is kind of like a bubble. You live here, You raise your children here, you attend church if that's what you do here, or synagogue, you shop here, your children do the extracurriculars here. Everything is contained in Wellington. You go out to eat here. The only thing Wellington doesn't have is a beach and, let's just say, nightclubs. But most of the people that are living in Wellington aren't singles that are going out to nightclubs. And if you really do want to go to the beach, which I did regularly when I lived here, you just pack a bag and you pack up your beach stuff if you want to, and you go out to the beach, and it's about a 25 to 30 minute ride. If you go a little bit further north or south, let's just say either to Delray Beach, or if you go up to Juneau or Jupiter, that's in the Jupiter area, then that's going to be more like a 40-minute drive. But either way, it's such a great outing to get out to the beaches because it's so different than what you're living your day-to-day here. So for me, I would take my kids out and would always just spend the entire day out on the beaches until the kids were exhausted, and so was I. But it was always like a fantastic day. So I have fond memories here, and I love Wellington. It's such a great place to raise your family and raise the kids. And also, I developed some really great friendships here, and I'm just so happy that I was able to develop those. One of them is my best friend Lisa, and Ellen and Harry, my friends Ellen and Harry, have their jewelry store. But I've developed many relationships and many friends here, and it was some of the best years of my life. But again, you got to reach out to us in order to find that perfect area that you're thinking about maybe living in or you want to go see. And in order to do that, you got to give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email, heck, send smoke signals, send the pigeon carrier, however you want to get a hold of us, because we've got your back when you're moving to South Florida. And until next video, I'll catch you later.